In the beginning, the transition, we called it, the end of the Cold War, an ideological and nuclear standoff that had defined the lives of several generations. Then transitioning from the deep freeze of communism to something resembling democracy and a free market, a very old part of Europe had suddenly become the new Europe. Things like this do not happen every day. So I joined the fray, joyfully abandoning my uninspiring career in the corporate world. I became a country specialist for an American NGO that provided technical assistance and business development services to enterprises in Central and Eastern Europe. When they asked me what country I wanted, I chose the Czech Republic. Any country that would elect a playwright as their leader was the place for me, I told them. A few days later, they assigned me to Poland. First lesson among many, including the fact that, in the end, this proved to be a happy accident of history. In 1995, that same NGO sent me to Poland to be our man in Warsaw. When that assignment ended 2 years later, I chose to remain an expat and make my way through life by whatever means were at hand. So far, I have not returned to the United States to live, nor had any real desire to do so. In 2005, Andrew Fensham, Jonna Beckett, and I met at the Radio Cafe, our usual haunt in Warsaw. The rest of the city was shut down and boarded up in anticipation of anti-globalization protests during a G8 summit taking place in Warsaw. The protests never materialized, but New Europe writers did. That day, we embarked upon a 10-year project to create a series of books, each focused on a city, that would capture the sense of place and time through short stories and poetry written by local authors and expats. We published 5 such volumes: Warsaw Tales, Prague Tales, Budapest Tales, Bucharest Tales, and Ljubljana Tales. Our selection criteria focused on what we termed the quirk, the essential strangeness that makes any piece of writing interesting and gives it aesthetic value. Here I use aesthetic in the proper sense, namely offering the reader greater insight. The time came for this collecting of anthologies to end. The work we were finding had lost that unique sense of place and time that had initially inspired the project. The genie preserved in the bottle had dispersed on the wind. When Jonna Beckett joined him, it closed this chapter of New Europe Writers.